If this message has found its way to you, there's something I need to share, with absolute certainty. This isn't a technical glitch or random chance. The cosmos is giving you an answer to that question your spirit quietly asked. Right there in that private corner of your being, where uncertainty started to emerge. There's something you needed to hear at this precise moment. Right now, before your wavering thoughts turn into complete abandonment. I recognize that you've been keeping everything bottled up inside. I understand that you moved forward pretending everything had ended, trying to persuade yourself that you'd closed that chapter. Yet deep within, there's a question that refuses to let you rest, an uncertainty that steals your peace. And this doubt about the destiny of this bond can only be answered by divine design. The answer reaches you at this moment with a clarity you can no longer dismiss. Release the notion that you're overreacting to what you feel. You're not fabricating this intensity. You don't love without reason, nor do you love in isolation. The bond connecting you to this individual is genuine, a tie that didn't originate from logic, but from the spirit. It's not a fleeting impulse, but carries deep significance. The core message you need to hold within yourself is this. Today, the cosmos confirms you shouldn't give up. You're standing at the edge of a manifestation that's been developing for quite some time for both of you. You have no concept of how much energy is working behind the scenes in your favor. If you sense this truth, write "I sense" in the comments. What's happening at this very moment goes beyond your awareness. While you're reading these words, on the spiritual plane, powerful forces are realigning themselves to bring you together. Divine timing never makes mistakes. Every moment of waiting you've endured has served a purpose. Every tear you shed, every night you questioned if this connection was real, all of it was part of a bigger design to prepare you both for what's approaching. Let me clarify something crucial. The bond that exists between you and this person isn't random. Before you both arrived in physical form, your spirits made an agreement. An arrangement to meet, to love, to teach each other fundamental lessons about existence. This explains why, no matter how much distance or silence exists, the pull remains so powerful. This bond was forged long before you met in this lifetime. That's why nothing and no one can truly break it. But here's what the divine plan requires from you right now. It demands trust. Not the superficial kind of trust we casually speak about, but deep spiritual trust that challenges everything your rational mind wants to control. The magnetic law of release operates on a simple yet profound principle. When you release your desperate grip, when you stop chasing and start believing, you create the exact energetic space needed for the return to happen. Trusting means believing unconditionally that the cosmos, which already placed love in your path, knows better than you when and how you should reunite. To truly apply this principle, you need to stop pursuing the other person energetically. Energetic pursuit doesn't only happen through actions, but through thoughts, expectations, and emotional fixation. Every time you check their social media, wait impatiently for a message, or focus all your energy on what they are or aren't doing, you transfer your power to lack and uncertainty. The spiritual practice of detachment calls you to bring your energy back to your own center, to your life, your growth, your peace. When you begin to raise your vibration without needing external validation, you transform into a magnet. The cosmos sees you at peace, confident in your path, radiant in your own energy. This frequency sends a clear message. I am whole. I am abundant, and what belongs to me will find me without force. This internal state is what the other soul feels when, in their dark night, they long for light. Your balance creates a magnetic vacuum that naturally pulls them back. Once you stop sending pressure and fear, the true resonance of the soul connection begins to function purely, free from resistance. They don't return out of pity or control, but because your energy has become so clear and powerful that their soul has no choice but to reunite with yours. This is the essence of magnetic release, letting go to attract. But to truly understand why the cosmos chose this path, we need to comprehend why this separation was necessary. If the connection is so deep and meaningful, why did the cosmos allow this painful pause? Because this separation isn't punishment, but part of the design, an activation of destiny. The pause is training, preparation so this love can exist in its truest form. The intensity of your connection was so great that, without healing and awareness, it would have collapsed under the weight of its own immaturity. The first hidden purpose of this separation lies in the maturation of the bond. When you first met, both of you were acting from old patterns of fear, dependency, or the need for validation. The cosmos knew this dynamic would obscure the purity of your love, so it intervened to create space for awareness. This phase of solitude was a kind of spiritual incubator. You learned to love yourself independently of their attention, while they were forced to face their own fears without the refuge of your proximity. The second purpose of this pause is transformation. Destiny doesn't want a repetition of the past, but a new connection, more conscious, deeper, and more stable. The pain of this pause is the price of growth. Through absence, both come to understand the true value of what exists between you. The other person's soul recognizes that you're irreplaceable, that no other connection will ever feel as complete because no other carries the same soul agreement. This is why the cosmos continuously creates situations that remind them of you, moments when they feel the void of your energy and realize they've strayed from the true path. This pause is, in reality, an act of pure love from the cosmos. A higher power says, "I will protect this connection until both of you are ready. I will separate you to heal you so you can return complete, conscious, and forever." The pain you feel now is temporary, but the understanding born from it is eternal. The love that returns will be different from any you've experienced before, because it will be born from consciousness, not from need. Now that the magnetic detachment has set the energy in motion, and the dark night of the other soul has reached its peak, begins the moment when your faith takes visible form. The cosmos promised you that this separation is only temporary, and now it's time to recognize the signs confirming that the return is imminent. The first and clearest of these signs is the increase in genuine internal telepathy. These are no longer vague memories or diffuse longing, but clear and vivid thoughts, appearing in quiet moments, waves of warmth, joy, or tenderness suddenly washing over you. They're proof that your souls are already communicating again. What you feel now are the emotions of the other person, no longer in resistance, but in flow. Their heart begins to surrender to the truth of the feeling, and the moment they allow it, their energy reaches your field directly. Pay attention to the timing. If you find yourself waking at the same hour every night, it might be the moment when their soul is most active, or when a memory touches them so deeply it pulls them from sleep. Another clear sign is the repetition of certain numbers. The cosmos speaks through synchronicity, and numbers are one of its most precise languages. If you suddenly see the same numbers repeatedly, 111 for spiritual alignment, 222 for balance and duality, 777 for spiritual reward, it's not coincidence. These patterns are the way the cosmos whispers. Divine timing is accelerating, the path is opening. They're visible confirmations that the invisible work is already bearing fruit. A third powerful sign is the collapse of fear and the triumph over absence. The other person reaches the point where the pain of separation is greater than the fear of closeness. This is the moment destiny prepared. the point where running away no longer makes sense. The void that your magnetic release left becomes unbearable for them. Before, they could distract themselves or hide behind walls, but the cosmos leaves no escape. Restlessness, insomnia, and the feeling of finding no peace without you become their driving force. When their heart realizes that life without you is harder than the risk of loving you again, the silence breaks. Then comes the fourth and final phase, sudden clarity. When they return, it won't be with uncertainty or half-truths. The dark night of their soul burned away the ambivalence. You'll feel it in their voice, in their gaze, and in their actions. Clarity, determination, reciprocity. This reunion won't be halfway, but a conscious manifestation. The cosmos didn't allow the separation to make you stumble again, but to prepare you for a new beginning, mature, clear, healed. The reunion is inevitable because it no longer depends on your actions, but on the completion of their internal healing cycle. If you receive this blessing, write "I receive" in the comments.